What does life ask from us? Throughout everything, it feels like there's so much that we need to accomplish, so much that we need to do, so much that we need to become. But what does life truly just ask from us? What does it need from us? The simple answer is just to be open, to be curious, to be willing to explore. There's so much on this earth that in our lifetime we will never be able to experience. So the experiences that we have are just that much richer. There's this idea that the things that God's envy from humans is the fact that we are mortal. Because when you have all the time in the world, nothing really feels of substance. If you have all the time in the world, you're not going to be in a rush. You're not going to feel like this is your only chance. There's not that sense of urgency, of vitality that you have that makes every moment more richer. When somebody is in the hospital and they're on their dying breath, and they look outside and they see it's raining. The only wish that they have is to ask the doctor if they can go outside. Maybe they physically may not be able to go outside, but to experience the rain one last time is all that they ask when they're suffering. And it's so interesting because when we have thousands of rainy days, we see them as an inconvenience. When we only have one more left, it becomes this magical experience that we want to live out to the fullest. And that's all that life asks from us. And I know that things can be hard. I know that your day-to-day can be hard. I know that the emotional landscape, the turmoil, the politics, the economy, everything can be challenging. But everything is so much more richer when you realize this is the only opportunity that we have to live in. And that's all that life asks from us. Not to become this version of us that needs to be accepted by society, not to become someone that our friends or family will look up to, but to become the best and most optimal version of ourselves. That is all that life asks for. It's very simple. Be curious, stay open, be you. And I know the aspect of being us is so challenging because we live in a world that's constantly trying to tell us who we should be. And it becomes very hard to sift through the noise and understand, well, who am I? What's my relationship to life? Not what is my relationship to life through my friend's lens or through my parents' lens, but through my own eyes. How can I see myself clearly through my own eyes? How can I use other people and experiences as a mirror so that I can speak to myself through these experiences that life is offering to me? Everything that life offers to us is a gift. How we decide to use it is up to us. Whether we choose to see the gift as a gift is also up to us. Someone can spend their hard-earned time, their hard-earned money to get you something hypothetically for your birthday, and say whether they know you or not, whether they are close to you or not, you don't like the gift that they give you. Either way, it's still a gift. You can appreciate the gift by giving it to someone else. You can appreciate the gift by seeing the value in it over time. But ultimately, it is a gift. How you see things changes the perspective and the reality in which you experience things. And life is very simple. Often it's our brains that tries to condense everything. Think about it. We're on this planet trying to figure out ourselves. We're also trying to figure out how we came to be and what existence is like. And we're also trying to figure out each other in relation to us. There's so much to figure out at one time that it feels like, how are we supposed to navigate it all at one time, right? When you're young, you hear the saying that you'll understand when you're older. And then when you're older, you hear the saying that nobody has to figure it out. So at what point do we have comfort in the unknown? Or what point does the unknown turn into a comfortable knowing? And the idea is that it never does. As we're constantly moving, we're constantly creating a reality around us in real time, which I truly believe makes us all creators, regardless of what other people say, whether you think you're creative or not. The fact that you are co-creating with life is the biggest fact that we are creative beings. And I love the idea that creativity is just problem solving. That's all we're doing. There's a problem that we need to solve, and we have to use out-of-the-box thinking to get towards it. Whether that's shaping your life, creating your life, whether you're actually working on an art piece or you're solving a business problem, that's the essence of it. And since we're co-creating and since we're creators, we are creating with life. Life gives us the raw materials, it gives us the experiences, it gives us the things that trigger our emotions in order for us to generate solutions to problems that arise. So often when we think of life as, oh, life's out to get me, and like, life hates me, and why me, blah, 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 victim mentality, all that stuff. Often we're not seeing the things that life is giving us as a resource. And I love this idea because it taps into abundance mindset, where the first thing that most people think about when they hear abundance mindset is about money and about resources, but it's about raw material. Yes, money, resources, currency, attention are all materials that we can use in order to co-create with life, but there's other things too, like your emotions are a resource. Sometimes people encourage you not to spend your energy on the wrong people, in the wrong crowds, on the wrong things, like doom scrolling or just hanging out with the wrong crowds. But your attention is also a form of currency, which is also a form of raw material that life gives us. And what is life asking us to do with the things that it gives us? It's asking us to alchemize it, to change from one state to another. One thing that humans have always been excellent at is the art of adapting. We can go from one state to another over time. Our brains have the capacity to see a world that does not exist. And I think that is simply beautiful because we become visionaries. We become the people that create the worlds for the people after us. We are the people that plant the seeds for the person 20 years later down the road to sit under it. That is the point of why we're here and who we are. And oftentimes it feels hard to conceptualize everything that's going on, but it's simply that. How can we co-create with life? How can we remain open to life, to be able to work with life, to build something of our lives to help other lives that come after us? It's that simple. That's all that life is asking of us. How can we work together? How I work together with life and how you work together with life, completely different. And that's exactly how it's supposed to be. It's very hard to compare your life with somebody else's life when they don't have the same skill set, they don't have the same experiences as you, they are not you. When you look in the mirror, you know yourself to the utmost. Nobody can know you as well as you know yourself. Therefore, nobody can know life through your lens as well as you know life through your lens, which makes your experience so valuable. So life's always asking, how can we use the experience of your life to create an expansive life, an expansive reality, an expansive universe that doesn't exist anywhere else and will never exist again? That's who you are. You are a person that is in a time that will never exist again, and a person with a perspective that will never exist again. And I think that's absolutely remarkable because life knows us, and it's constantly trying to send us signs, signals, and it's constantly whispering to us to be able to wake up and hear it. And the relationship that we have with life, I believe, determines the quality of life that we live. And constantly, we already know this in society, we're always trying to optimize and uplift the quality of life that we live. But sometimes optimization requires you to step back and look at what is for what it is in order to understand how to be in the situation and the place that you're in order to move forward. We are conditioned to think that optimization is always a form of moving forward with a sense of urgency. Sometimes the peace that we operate under and sit in, whether it be from emotions or just the reality of the chaos in the world, allows us to see a path forward. When you play games, for example, I play Elden Ring, and one thing that Elden Ring has taught me is staying calm in the face of chaos when you're facing a very hard boss is how you stay alive. Oftentimes we make mistakes and we panic, which causes us to make the mistakes because we're not in a frame of mind where we trust our own abilities, we trust life, we trust our intuition to speak to us in a way that will help us to move forward. And that's our job. Our job is to be obedient to the thing that communicates ideas to us, to trust in ourselves, and to continually move forward out of courage, because that's what we as humans have been doing for centuries. All we do is move forward courageously. We take note of how things have gone in the past, we appreciate the moments of where we are, and we understand that we will always move forward. Once you have those beliefs, you keep those beliefs, you sit with those beliefs, there is nothing complicated about life. You get to enjoy it to the fullness. Even the sadness, even the anger, even the disappointment, everything gets appreciated 10 times more when you just accept reality for what it is and not try to change it to become something else. And I think that's super beautiful. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, leave them down below. And thank you for being here. Nice to see you guys.